Let's go, man. Manchester United, Brighton. A little bit of coffee, really quick. Excited. I'm super excited about it. I've been excited about pretty much all the games this season, about watching us, because I really feel and have felt that we've been building something, and that we are building something, and that Amarim is a good manager. That's my thoughts 100%. You can disagree with them, agree with them, whatever you want, but those are my thoughts. I believe that there are there's plenty to look at of last year as to what caused the results, not just the manager. So that's my thing, is that I don't look at last season and go, oh yeah, that's 100% on the manager. I could say that it's probably like 40% on the manager, maybe even 30. The squad we had last season, honestly, was not good, especially because there were problems with the more quality players, right? Like the players that were deemed to have quality on our squad were the ones that we had the problems with. Uh, Rashford, uh, Sancho, and Anthony, right? Those were the guys that were supposed to be the scorers, the creative ones, the all of that stuff, right? The ones that win you games, and we had problems with all of them. So what happened? Amram had to come in and fix those problems, and unfortunately, the fix ended up being them leaving, which right away puts United at in a tough spot, right? If you come in and you deem that they're not gonna be able to buy in or do any of that, then that's it. Like you have to tell them that they have to go, and that hurt the team because now there's less goals in the team, there's less creativity and less skill, and that hurt. It hurt because then we had to rely on a lot of young players, especially to try to score goals. Hoyland 22, Ahmad 22, Garnacho 20, like very young players that weren't ready for it. Like Ahmad was kind of ready. You could see that he could score goals, but it was his first season playing top league, like starting like really starting games ever. That was his first season ever, like really starting Premier League games constantly from the beginning of the season. So it's like he didn't. You can't rely on that, man. You couldn't rely on that, and that's what we were relying on. So you ask yourself, like, okay, why couldn't we score? That right there, bro. Look at our attack right now and tell me that you don't expect goals from those three every single game, or four or five. You are like, yeah, we're gonna score goals. Now you have teams that have to come into Old Trafford and be like, whoa, like hold up, we can't we can't high press as much as we wanted to, because if we high press, guess what? Lamens is gonna go deep, Sesko's gonna flick it on, and then one was gonna be an own goal. You want that? Highly doubtful. So now they're gonna sit back, and now you think that Mbomo, Cunha, Sesko, Bruno Fernandes from deep aren't going to create and score goals? I'm at like it's it's being built, man. It's there's a process and it's getting there, man. We're probably 75%, 80% building this team right now, like we really are, because they focused a lot on youth. I think they'll probably get maybe another like defender and midfielder and forward in the summer that are like 18, like youthful. January to summer, I think they get at least one in each category, even maybe goalkeeper, like 18-year-old goalkeeper, just to have grow in the academy. But they're focused on everything. They they bought two, three midfielders that are young, that are gonna grow in the academy. They've gotten wing back, they've gotten defenders, they have strikers, everything. They have players for every position that are growing in the academy right now. And then the like regular team, you have players that were here, and like Bruno, Maguire, Shaw. I don't want to put Dallo, but Dallo, Ahmad, right? Those are the five players that were here from the time, and Kobe, I guess, right? From the time that, from a long time ago, like, from before Amram and stuff. Like, those players have been here, and they're the only ones that I would. I don't want Dallo. That's why I said not Dallo. But they're the only ones that I would want on my team that had been here, right? So then, from there on, right? There's only four players. So what happens? We bring in an unbelievably good summer transfer window last season. Dalit, Mazraoui, Yoro, Ugarte, Xerxes. That's a good summer transfer window last season. But they've only been here a year, right? So now those four that you had and those five that came in, that's nine players in total. That's the players that you're like, okay, like, that's the only good players in the squad at that point. And then you go to this season, you add Cunha and Buomo, Sesko, and Lamens. So now you have 13 players in the team that are like, yeah, now those are players I want on my team. Okay? Like those 13, 14 players, including, I don't include Kobe because he's young. I expect him to be in the team later on. That's why I'm not including like Haven or any of the youngsters either. I'm talking about the experienced real players. Those 13 players you want on your team, man. Like you're excited about these players. And those are the players pretty much that have been here since the Ineos took over. Like that the Ineos brought in. If you tell me that the players that we had, like I said, not including Kobe, that you're excited about any that aren't Bruno, Shaw, and Maguire, like I said, and you're not even probably that excited about Shaw or Maguire, just Bruno maybe. And I know some of the fans don't even like Bruno, which is crazy, but those three I would say are the only ones from all the managers we had in the past that people would be like, okay, like yeah, I'm okay with them being on our team, because the rest aren't just not good. Like I said, Kobe, I don't think of as that group. I think of him as a young player, an academy player, honestly. So now they've brought in nine players, man. Now they brought in nine other players, 10 other players that are exciting and that's their build. Like that's what the squad they're building is. So you have 13, 14 players right now. And this summer, this January, they'll make it 18. And then you can really like demand results. That's when the results should matter. Once the team is built, man. But you can't just like demand results when the team is three-quarters of the way there. Like the demand of the results, getting results, you see that they're getting them and that they're improving, they're playing better. The statistics back it up. Everything back it up, bro. The results, the statistics, the eye test, all of it backs it up that this season has been better than last season. So why, as a United fan, would you want to give up on that, bro? It's just ridiculous. Now we're going against Brighton, and I promise you that Brighton is not coming into Manchester United. They're not coming into Old Trafford the same way they've been coming to Old Trafford in the past 2, 3 seasons. Because this season they have to be afraid of the attack. They have to be afraid of getting goals scored on them. They are not going to play with so much freedom that they're not afraid of Cunha and Bomo, Sesgor, Mason Mount scoring on them. And that's the difference, bro. There's a difference when you are afraid that the other team can score at any given point, which is where we're at right now with Manchester United, almost like to perfection. Like, give Cunha and Bomo, Sesko, Mount another month, 2 months to gel, and they will score goals for fun, bro, against a lot of teams because there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of creativity, speed, everything up front now. We are a very dangerous team. And then you have, like, as you saw against Liverpool, Bruno Fernandes coming in at the end and being able to take shots from just inside of the 18. And you'll see that in the season he'll score more than not. He missed that one against Liverpool, and I bet you that kept him up all night thinking about that shit. Because as somebody who who has the kind of skill level when you take shots and you expect them to go in certain shots, that shit would have kept me up all night. Like if I missed that shot, I would have thought about that thing nonstop all night. I would be in my bed thinking about that moment and how I didn't score. He's not gonna miss very many more of those this season, and it's that's how dangerous this team is. You had those three players, and then you have Ahmad coming in from right wing back, and you have Bruno coming in at the end to finish any shot from outside of the box. We are going to score goals. Teams cannot come and be so open and attack minded when they play United anymore because Lamens is a good goalkeeper and he can go long right away. So he has great distribution. So you have to be wary of counterattacks. You're not going to push up as much. So you're going to get a different style of play against us now. And we are going to score goals. We're going to win games. I think we beat Brighton. I believe we beat Brighton for sure. Like my arrogant United fan thinks it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be bad just because of the fact that we are we've been like building and building and building to score goals, and we haven't really gotten to the point where we really scored goals this season yet. Like Liverpool, like we've scored goals, but it not like a lot, right? Like we beat Sunderland 2-0. We should have beat Sunderland like 4 or 5-0. To be honest with you, maybe even like 5-1. Let's say, but we should have put more goals in against them. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of we are getting to the point of beating a team like 3-4, 5-0, 5-1, whatever, 5-2. That's how I see this game. I think it's just boiling and the top is about to pop off, bro. And after that win, the confidence that that win gives you, the way the fans are gonna be at home, I can see this being a really good game for Manchester United. I see us winning this game 4-1. Like I don't think it's close. We are. I don't think it's the type of games that we've had against them in the past. I just don't. I don't think any team is going to play United anywhere near the way that they used to. There's no way you can. There's no way you can open yourself up anymore because if you do, you're a flick away from Mbomo being 1-on-1 against your goalkeeper. You cannot high press like you used to against United because now Sesko is going to win a flick and Bomo is going to be faster than almost any defender in the league. So if you give him the chance, he's going to be an on goal. So now you have to play differently. You can't press as high as you would want to. You can't do the things that you did before against us because Amram isn't being as hard headed as he was or how other managers were to the point where he's like, yeah, well, the building up from the back is not working because we don't have the right players for it. We're gonna go long. Every team is pressing high, so now they're vulnerable in the back. They're 1v1 against our strikers and like wingers or tens. Yeah, let's go direct. We have a goalkeeper that's good with his feet who can play any ball with left or right. We have a forward now that can flick ball past most defenders, and a speedster in Mbomo, and another guy in Cunha who can bring the ball down and attack right away as well. So teams just they can't do that, man. They can't do what they used to at Manchester United. Teams weren't afraid of Garnacho and Hoyland, bro. They're gonna be afraid of Mbomo and Cunha and Sesko, bro. They are going to be, and they already probably are. They already know, like, hold up, this is not the same type of team. This is not the same attacking type of team. This is not the same team that's not gonna score goals. Like that's not this Manchester United team, bro. Like this team, once they get fully clicking, once those players up front are fully clicking, bro, and they've played with each other longer, they're gonna score so many goals. And I think this is gonna be one of the first games that they do it in. I really do. One, it's home. It's after the Liverpool game. While sometimes you might be a little too overconfident. I think it's the right type of confidence that he's gonna like put into his players because Amarim isn't buying into any of that BS. The the comments after the game where he said this is we're the same team we were 90 minutes ago. We this these 3 points at the end of the day, like tomorrow they're just 3 points. Now we have to focus on Brighton. All of the things that were said were perfect for me to understand that the players know what the fuck is going on, especially like after they did the ice baths and they did all that stuff. The state of mind that they're in is the right state of mind. They weren't overly celebrating that win and thought, okay, blah blah, the season is like now ours, whatever. No, they were like, okay, let's recover, let's get ready for training and this week and get ready for Brighton. There's a certain like mentality that you can see at United now, and that's a different mentality that has been here for a while. So it's different. This Brighton team is playing a different United team. We are a much more dangerous team attacking. You have to be wary of us. You can't just play. You can't press us high anymore because you have to be wary of our attackers. You have to be a little afraid of Sesko Cunha and Bomo, bro. You can't play us the same way. Ahmad, Bruno, those five going forward are gonna be a problem for a lot of teams. They're not gonna play us the same way, so it's not gonna be the same game, in my opinion. I think they're gonna be a little bit more conservative, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think that we lose this game. I don't. They're a really good team. They still can beat us. They beat in City, Chelsea. I think Chelsea. The one thing with Chelsea, I do believe they're a fantastic team because they have a lot of talent. But the one thing I said that they're lacking is experience. They have a lot of youth, and not many experienced players. Like I don't even think they start one player that's over 30 years old. That's even like 28 years old, I would say. Like 28 or older, I don't think they start one player. I think Cucurella is their oldest starter, and he's 27. Everybody after that, their most experienced players are Caicedo, who's 24, 25. Uh, Enzo Hernandez, 24, 25. Cole Palmer was 23. Like, most of the players are very young, so I think they're going to be a little bit inconsistent, especially against really good teams like Brighton, Bournemouth, um, Newcastle. I think they're gonna struggle against that type of middle table team that's like that has a lot of experience, players who have been there for a long time. That kind of team that we were struggling against last season, that's the type of team that they're going to struggle against this season. It's going to be the ones that have been together for a long time, that have like a good core, that have a manager or managers that have been there for a good amount of time. Those are the teams that Chelsea's going to struggle against, but they're a very good team. So that's kind of why I feel like they lost to Brighton. I think Brighton just has a core group of players that have been there forever, and they have enough talent to beat anybody. So when you're inexperienced like Chelsea, you could really get beat pretty badly. City, they caught them at the right time because City didn't start the season very well, but they are a very good team. They're still a very good team, but I just don't think that they're going to come into Old Trafford playing the same way that they've played against some of these teams. Like, is going to be Old Trafford is starting to be a place that people don't want to play it again. Like, I think we've won all three games at Old Trafford so far this season, right? I don't I don't see us, or maybe we drew one. No, we won, right? We won all the ones we played at. Yeah, because our losses were City away, Brentford away, and Grimsby away. Yeah, so we haven't lost at Old Trafford, and I think it's like 3 or 4 games in a row we've won at Old Trafford. So it's just we're starting to build a team again. We're starting to make like Old Trafford a place people don't want to go at. We are starting to defend it better. Look, I'm excited about this team. Lamens is gonna start in goal probably. I mean, most likely you can't take him out of the number one spot anymore because he did it at Liverpool. So he did it in his first game, and he did it at Liverpool. That spot is his. There's no I don't think that I don't think that there's a doubt in Amarin's mind anymore of who the number one is. While I still he'll still say like he's young and experienced because he is. He's 23. I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind anymore who the number one is at United. So Lamens is most likely starting in goal. The back three is something that the three center backs I'm a little bit like iffy about because I kind of want the same back three that started at Liverpool just because I would like to see some continuity in the defense, right? Like that back three specifically, just because it's changed. It's been Euro, it's been Maguire, it's been De Ligt, Shaw. Like it's just been changing. Just some continuity would be nice, but I want to see Euro start. So that's where it's kind of a little bit rough. Maybe it goes Maguire, De Ligt, Euro instead of Shaw. Who knows, right? It's gonna be interesting who he picks because now hard. It's harder for managers to like expect a starting lineup at this moment, right? So it's gonna be interesting. I think wing back. I would like to see Mazraoui play left wing back, because I don't want to see Dallo anymore, and then I'm not at right wing back. I do want to still be a little bit wary of their attack. Their wingers are pacey and they usually create most of their attacks. So I do want like Ahmad and Mazraoui on the wings at least. Like I want one defensive minded wing back is what I mean. Like if Dorgu comes in, Ahmad and him are both very offensive. Like Ahmad has gotten better defensively. Dorgu has to improve that, but we need one. I think just because you have to have balance, you can't just like disregard other teams and treat them like they're nothing. You have to still give them some respect. So I would start something like that, like Mazraoui, Shaw, Maguire, Delit, Ahmad. That's what I would probably start just because of continuity, not because I want that. I think Euro is an exceptional young player. I think he's going to be a Manchester United legend. He's going to be here for a very long time. But he's still 19. He's still very inexperienced. So until we can replace Shaw with Lissandro, and then it's Lissandro, Delit, and Euro, we're gonna have to, I think, go with Shaw, Maguire, Delit. I think Euro will probably start, but I believe in the manager. Whatever the manager puts out there, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. This is just based off of what I would want to see, not off of what I think is the best. Okay, like it's what I want to see, what I think would be good, but it's nowhere near like deep diving into the tactics where we can beat him like he did against Liverpool. Because he can still do that against Brighton. But will he want to play a defensive minded way against not Liverpool, right? At Anfield. So I don't think he starts the same way he did against Liverpool. He's probably gonna he might go Sesko, Cunha, and Bomo. That's how I would line up. But I trust him, so he could do whatever he wants. But that's the lineup I would put out: Mazraoui, Shaw, Maguire, Delit, Ahmad, Casemiro, Bruno, Sesko, and Bomo and Cunha. I think that's our best lineup until Lissandro could come back and play instead of Shaw. But honestly, it's a solid lineup, and we can win that game. We're definitely gonna win that game, and I can see Ugarte, Mainu, and Xerxes all coming off the bench around the 60 to 70th minute. That's how I see the game going. Maybe even Lissandro coming in like the last 10 minutes of the game for Luke Shaw, unless it's like a 1-0 game where we're winning and we have to defend, and you don't want to put that kind of stress on Lissandro for his first game back. But I do think if we're up by a couple goals, we see him play like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes to get his like legs back to play in his first game if he's been practicing with the team, which I believe he has. But that's how I see. That's how I see the lineup. That's how I see the game. Like the game playing out. I think we win. I think my my arrogant United fan says 5-1, but in reality, it'd be like 2-1, 3-1, Man United. That's what I really believe. Let's see what happens, man. I'll catch you guys. Let's go United.